What's up, everybody? B-Sports02 here. A great day today, and welcome to round number 5 of the NOFSRL Monster Energy IndyCar Oval Series. Today we're live from the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas for the Firestone 600. Alongside me once again is my colleague, Colin Denton. Colin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. I'm glad to be here in Texas Motor Speedway once again. As a matter of fact, I was here 2 weeks ago. Got to observe some of the racing that happened with the Xfinity and Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, and quite some racing going on. We saw that repave happen. Now, that repave really made it a one-group racetrack, but they really widened it out using some machinery, got it a little bit wider. Hopefully, we're going to see a little bit more passing, running 3 wide. It's all possible here with the IndyCar Series here today.
Also, a new round in the TikTok. Of the new matchup, and you missed our last broadcast at Phoenix. So the matchups for the round of 16, Brad Stover in the 29 takes on Edwin Mendez in the 16. Then Glenn Duthie in the 41 takes on Tammy Durek in the 6. Jake Rogers in the 98 takes on Grayson Acevedo in the 14. Ryan Gondillo in the 3 takes on Hayden Caldwell in the 20. Johnny Gardner in the 4 takes on Marty Johnson in the 9. Mates Cody Smart takes on Cody Spence in the 2. Did I just say 2 versus 2? Colin?
Sorry, what?
Never mind. 22 versus 2. Brandy Webb in the 35 takes on Angie Brown in the 16. And finally, Eli Bright in the 12 takes on Brian Webb in the 7. At our last race at Phoenix, Tammy Durek had swept her round when she was up against Josh Goot. It was 2 rounds to 1. With the one at Phoenix, advanced her into the round of 16. Should be some exciting racing today here. It's also the second race where the restrictor plates are going to be turned off for this one. Expect some exciting racing. On the pole for today's race, the 27 of Tristan Allen, who is already out after losing to Jake Rogers, his teammate. In second, the 8 of Michael Kelly, who is also out. Lost to Angie Brown. Alright, so we're ready to go. Let's go trackside for the command to start the engines. "33 cars are fired up." Hope none of these drivers have Ricky Allen problems as we get to the green. And they are all good to go. Let's look at your onboards we have for today's race. So we start things off with the 2 of Cody Prince. Then the 7 of Brian Webb. The 10 of Edwin Mendez. The 12 of Eli Bright. The 24 of John Jackus. I'm just looking at the show. I think Jackus is in it. Number 16. He's not, but we still have an onboard on him anyway. Got the 26 Donovan Duthin, he's out as well. Got your Polster, Tristan Allen. Points leader, Brad Stover. 35 of Brandy Webb. And finally the 41 of Glenn Duthin. Ready for a great show. Everything is bigger here in Texas. The race is bigger. The wrecks are bigger. The finishes are bigger. Pace car makes a left-hand turn to pit road. The flag is in the starter's hands. Release the hounds. We're green in Texas. Good start for the 27 of Tristan Allen. Gain help from the 3 of Ryan Gondillo as these drivers come off of turn 2, almost coming up to speeds of over 200 miles an hour. They go into 3. Allen still has a good lead. Gondillo in second. Gondillo now will make the run to the low line for the race lead. They come off turn 4, lap 1, led by Tristan Allen. Ryan Gondillo, who finished second at Phoenix last week. He will now be going to the race lead. But for right now, here comes Cole Baker in that 18 as we're going to go 3 wide. Allen up high, Kelly in the middle, Jim Shorts down low in the 20. Here's the 26 now, Donovan Duthin looking inside for the race lead. Close at the line, I believe Duthin just edged out Baker, he did. Now the 20 of Hayden Caldwell will go to the lead, with help from teammate Jim Shorts. Look at all the close 3 wide racing here. Remember, this is the IndyCar. So one mistake can change everything. Here comes the 7, Brian Webb. He looks inside. Shorts will just beat out Webb at the line. But Brian goes to the point. Michael Gregory in the 19 to second. Marty Johnson now in third. Shorts now goes 3 wide with the 20 and the 15. Gregory now goes to the lead. Marty Johnson now will make the run inside. But man, that is a close racing. Johnson with help from Josephine O'Neill, but we're going to go 3 wide now for the lead. Josephine to the point. She's got help from Josh Hyatt. Just don't go 4 wide here at Texas, because if you do, we will have a wreck. I can guarantee you that.
And I will give them the benefit of the doubt. This is a very similar configuration to what we saw at Atlanta, and that was a track where I thought that we would be seeing a lot of crashing and whatnot, and there was a little bit of it, but it didn't quite cause the drama I thought we might see out of these high-speed courses, and I'm hoping that today we're going to see a whole lot more of what we saw at Atlanta, clean racing all the way around.
Don't forget, this race is different from Atlanta, maybe the same track configuration. However, the restrictor plates are turned off at Texas. When at Atlanta, the plates were on for that one. John McKean, the 25, he's last in the points. He goes to the race lead. The 20, Cody Smart all makes contact with his teammate. The 12 of Eli Gray as the drivers come off turn 2.
They are 3 wide all the way back.
Yeah, from first to 33rd at 1.18 seconds when they came across the line. And now Anthony Lopez moves Cody Smart out of the way. Goes for the race lead. He's got it. By the way, this is a 62-lap race. Extra 15 laps would send us into overtime. And now Brad Stover takes it right to the inside for the lead.
Remember, he started from the very back of the race course, so this is going to be a toss-up for anybody as long as we don't see any accidents.
Here goes Angie Brown looking at the bottom on Brad Stover. Going to try and go for that race lead. Look at the view from the blimp. Try and show you all 33 cars under a blanket. Look at this. Can you believe this racing, Colin?
I cannot believe that these guys can run in such a pack for such a long amount of time, but they're obviously pulling it off. They're all professionals here. So hopefully we can keep them clean.
Absolutely. Let's go for one lap here with one of these drivers that's in the middle. She was like, you know, what is this, Cody Prince? Yeah, let's go on board now. See what it's like. Look at the speed, it's just over 200 miles an hour in and out the turns. They're not even going off the gas.
You can really tell where that repave is coming in. The low line is getting a lot better into turn number 1 and 2, but in turns 3 and 4, that banking is the same as it was before the repave. So they're keeping the speed consistent around the turn, but this is where in positions. Low line goes, high line falls back.
Just like when we saw at Texas for the Xfinity and the Cup Series. And now you see the AJ Foyt Enterprise teammates of Grayson Acevedo and Glom Duthin make a run to the inside for the race lead. Acevedo leads at that time. Let's go and go with Duthin now. You see, the lower the line, the more faster speed you're going to get. Now he goes up high. That'll help out Jim Shorts. And now it looks like we'll have our first full rotation of the field, because here comes Tristan Allen back to the pack, back to the front once again. He was as low as 33rd, so he's been in every single spot today.
And if you keep up this rotation, he'll be back at the front at lap number 60, so right at the very end of the race.
That would be interesting, but keep in mind we will have to see some green flag pit stops throughout this race if we stay caution free. As Brian Love now goes to the point, here comes the 8 of Michael Kelly. Look at how high Tristan Allen is out of the groove. Let's go on board one of these drivers that's on the high line. Let him do that. Take a lap with him. See what it's like on the high line. All of those cars passing him low and mid. You better be careful.
This is where you got to keep your composure here. This is where he really wants to make a pass on Tristan Allen, but there's just no room. Everyone's going to be making the move already because they came from the back. The back, you got to stay with it and know that there's 62 laps in this race. There is time to get to the front.
These drivers better be careful on the high line, especially in the turns. If a big wreck happens, those drivers are going to have nowhere to go because of the momentum of these cars. As here comes the 60 for Hankins. He goes point. That is once again the 22 to help out. Smart now makes it run to the bottom line. He has the race lead. Hyatt goes to second. Hyatt now trying to make a run to the inside. He's going for the race lead here. Hyatt will go to the point. Here comes the 12 now of Eli Bright. He's going to go 3 wide for the race lead. Bright's got that one. He's got help from the 11. That's Josh Goot. As these drivers come off turn 2 once again. Goot has the lead. Let's take a view from the spectators angle. We'll show you what these guys see. When they cross the line, they are moving their heads left to right in a split second. Sean McKean now trying to look underneath the 77 for the race lead. Help from the 4 of Johnny Garner. Garner's one of those drivers as well that is in the bracket still in this round of 16. Now here comes Brad Stover in the 29. He's probably going to the middle line. He will. As Stover now goes to the race lead, he's got help from Marty Johnson. Johnson takes a look inside. Here's now the 28 of Kenny Stremme looking to the bottom. Help from Brandy Webb in the 35. Stremme just led that lap at the line. These drivers once again doing a great job. Three abreast still. They're playing it safe for right now. They're gonna wait to get. They're gonna wait to. You guys know what I mean. They're gonna wait to be aggressive till the end of this race. That's where we can see all the drama happening and more crashes. As now Tyler Scott leads them at the line. John Jackus looks to the bottom, 3 wide. He's got help from Jake Rogers in that 98. Rogers now looks to the bottom line. He's got help from Cody Prince in the 2 on board with the Verizon car of Prince. Prince will go to the lead. Daryl Salzman is second. The AJ Foyt drivers working with each other once again. Duthit and Acevedo. They've been on each other's bumpers throughout the duration of this race. And they will work together. This will give Glenn Duthit the race lead. Duthit's got that one. Now Acevedo will make the jump to the inside. Go for the blim as we're starting to lose some frames here. Oh man, we got some heavy frame drop. Doing great on frames per second, but now CPU has got a little bit high. Let's just hope the game does not crash. Steve Morgan leads that lap. Here's the next rotation, and Tristan, you are right. It's 24 laps complete, and now Tristan Allen is back on top.
Yep, they're going to have that rotation happening over and over again, and if the green flag pit stops come around at all, it's going to shuffle everything up. But we'll see what Allen does, because that is being on lap 60, that is going to be a few laps short of the finish. So maybe you got to look at those guys in the next couple rows to be the ones that would come out victorious if this cycle continues.
We'll have to find out also. Let's just pretend this is 2 laps to go and these drivers race the same. We'd probably figure out who our race winner would be. As Josephine O'Neill tries to look to the inside for the lead. Hayden Caldwell has it right now. So let's just say right here, this is the final lap. O'Neill has the lead. Here comes the 8 of Kelly looking inside. He's got Gondillo helping out. We could project the winner to be either Gondillo or Brian Webb by the time this race ends. I believe it will be either the 3 or the 7 that gets the win. It will be close. I will say that. We could even have a photo finish of the line just like that one we just saw. But 33 cars still doing a good job. Pack racing. 62 lap race, by the way. Kealoha Hankins takes his run to the bottom with help from Josh Hyatt. Hankins to the lead. Hyatt now in second. He goes to the inside. Cody Smart on the 22 helping Hyatt. Behind him is Josh Goots in the 11. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. It looks like a regular Indianapolis 500 because that's how they start the races, by going 3 wide. And 3 wide for the race lead. Here goes the 35. Brandy Webb to the bottom. Marty Johnson to help him out. And oh, I thought they were going to go 4 wide there for a moment.
They definitely opened up the gap there.
Absolutely. That could have led to a big-time disaster, such as a big wreck. Johnson now stays behind the 35 of Webb. That's going to help out Anthony Lopez in that 77. Lopez now goes to second. Tyler Scott, the 42 to third. Webb leads that lap. Here goes Lopez to the inside. What a pass Lopez makes. Tries to get the slide job. Webb falling back big time. A lot of close quarters racing here at Texas. Trying to find one of these drivers going right side of the Casey frames here. Lopez doing a good job on that race lead. That's the 2 of Cody Prince in second. Here comes Sean McKee now on the 25. McKean stays behind Prince. Prince now looking to the inside for the race lead on Anthony Lopez. He goes to the lead now. Here comes Glenn Duthert. He does not have his teammate behind him now, Grayson Acevedo. So that could be interesting. Prince blocks Duthert. Duthert now looks to the bottom for the lead. We get some help from Jake Rogers. Duthert leads. Rogers second for now, though. Rogers goes to the point. Here comes the 88 of Steve Morgan. He's got help from teammate Michael Gregory. Dale Coyne Racing has not had a good job, done a good job so far this season. All 3 of the drivers outside the top 25 in the points. They're looking for the lead. Now you see here the 27 of Tristan Allen. He's completing his rotation. This one will be complete 2 laps early.
It will, and as we have just passed halfway, I will make this point about fuel mileage. Last time we came to a 1.5-mile track, we saw 50 laps of racing at Atlanta. And during that time, I thought we might see some green flag pit stops. I was mistaken. But the thing to consider here is we've got an extra 12 laps. Will we see green flag pit stops? It's definitely more of a possibility now that we've seen what they can do on a 50-lap run.
Absolutely, you're right on that one, Colin. Allen has the race lead. Here comes the 14, Grayson Acevedo looking to the inside at this moment. Trouble, Brian Webb around the 7. Here we go, it's the big one. Around 7 cars involved, I'm counting. Maybe 8. The first caution of the day is out. Hankins with damage. The 24, John Jackas, Steve Morgan, Kenny Stremme, Anthony Lopez, Angie Brown, Cody Prince, Brian Webb, the first guy I saw get turned in the pack. So the race leader at the line was Grayson Acevedo, just beat out Caldwell. And looks like we're not seeing any takers at this time, except for the 8 of Michael Kelly. He's coming in. He might have some damage. But meanwhile, let's see why we're underneath the first caution here in Texas. So they come off of turn 2.
And they're forcing 4 wide.
They're going 4 wide. That's the 98, the 28, the 7, and the 8. So Rogers gets into the 28 and the 63, sends the 7 around. All these drivers are just trying to slow down to avoid the pack. I see a Verizon car in that one. Donovan Dutha gets involved. Just hits that outside wall. But man, those drivers that were back in the pack, they did a good job missing that. Most of these drivers did a good job missing that one, because I thought we were going to have a huge stack of them and seeing a car go upside down.
I am definitely with you on that. I honestly thought that they might try to pull down the throttle, see if they can make it through, but they all stuck on the brakes and they all stuck on them at the same time.
Here's the first one. We got the 2 of Cody Prince. And that was not Jake Rogers. That was Brad Stover in the 28. It's your number 1 seed and your points leader. So Prince may have some left front damage, but maybe it's just cosmetic. Good one for you right here, Brian Webb. Just had nowhere to go. Thought he had that rack mess, but nope. I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if we still had all 33 drivers on the track still. Here's the 26, Donovan Dutha. Look closely right here, he's got some suspension damage on the front right that could affect the performance of that race car.
He peeled off the brake, but then at the last second he pushed it forward, and then he had a car right in front of him.
Brad Stover's going to have a good one for you. Just missed it. Probably had some tire damage, but they probably just wiped the lights off, the Firestone logo off that vehicle.
That was a great save by both Stover and Kelly.
Brady Webb will show you what it's like to be in this one. Even that, I should say. Woo! Almost had that perfect lane.
And that was a perfect case where you could stick the gas into it, because that window was right open and you were going to get right into it if you broke.
One more for you, Glenn Dutha. Here's what it's like to be in the back of this one. Right when they see the smoke, all those drivers just hit the brakes nearly at the same time. And Dutha got damage. Probably some front wing damage. I don't know how bad it was the race car. We'll have to find out. So we're about to go back to green flag racing. Kilo Hankins has retired from the race, so we will have 32 drivers on the track. Grayson Acevedo leads, Hayden Caldwell second, Edwin Mendez third, Cody Smart fourth, Tristan Allen fifth. Green flag. We're all single file for right now, but probably after a few laps, these drivers will get back to full pack racing.
Well, I don't believe we saw any takers on pit road during that caution flag, so I guess that they're confident that they're going to make it all the way to the end on their fuel.
As you see, Hayden Caldwell takes the lead. Edwin Mendez helps him out as with Cody Prince. They ditch Grayson Acevedo as Mendez leads that lap of the line. Not Mendez, Caldwell leads that lap of the line, but Mendez is about to take the race lead. Off of turn 2, now here comes the 22 of Cody Smart. Michael Gregory goes to third. Smart takes a look to the bottom line, going for the race late. Gregory now up to second, looks to the inside for the lead. Grayson Acevedo helping once again in the 14. Brad Stover up there once again. He just passed his opponent, main opponent, Edwin Mendez. He's up to the third spot. As you see, Grayson Acevedo goes right to the lead here at Texas. 20 laps to go. Stover and Gondello working with each other once again. We saw those two battle it out at Phoenix, and a good one. Stover leads. Gondillo second. Gondillo looks to the bottom. Stover almost blocks. Gondillo looks for the lead. He's got it. Almost going for a wide. Thought they were for a split second. But they were not, as Gondillo just led the lap. Here comes Josh Goot in the 11. Brandy Webb helping in the 35. On board Webb. Webb trying to look inside. She will. Here comes the 6, Tammy Durek. She would like to go back to back. She looks to the bottom. That is, I believe, the 19 of Gregory helping. They're going 3 wide. And they're going to go 4 wide here. This may not be good. And then they go again. Josephine O'Neill goes airborne. Stover's in it. Smart's in it. This is the big one. Kelly's in it. Duthitt's in it.
And no one that was behind that made it through.
Oh, big crash now. Here we go. One car on its roof. I believe that was Kelly that went upside down. Well, is in it. That is a fight car is in it. Many drivers involved. It was another 4-wide situation, just like we saw in the first caution, and many drivers will be done for the day. And we will not have any takers, it looks like, coming into pit road. I believe first driver I saw go around was Stover. Let's find him. There he is. If his opponent, Edwin Mendez, made it through, see if he did make it through. I don't think he did make it through. That is going to be interesting. Let's watch what happens. We'll take this one from the blimp. Ah, they're going 4 wide. That's Ryan Gondillo, Brad Stover, Cody Smart, and Josephine O'Neill. So off of 2, Gondillo's going to have nowhere to go in this one.
And O'Neill goes airborne right there.
Stover there. There's a 61 of Josh Hyatt. Mendez did suffer damage in that one. Oh, well, that was a lick for Jim Shorts.
This is what causes a lot of the accident. These guys are already slow back here, and they want to get as much position as they can, so they're all trying to stick it through, and they're not getting there.
So Duthin and Kelly involved. Now all these drivers just trying to make it through the wreck. Bam! Look at the 8-car barrel roll. Rewind that footage. This is the second time he's flipped. Gets T-boned from Duthin. Matt, that's a lick. That is a lick. A lick we've seen in IndyCar racing. That is never a good lick. Many drivers involved, and some of them could be in trouble in the chase. Ryan Webb was involved in this crash. Watch his on board. Oh my goodness! Did you see that tire? Let's watch. Let's go in slow-mo. Watch the tire off of Kelly come up. Look at this. Look at this. Look, both tires, I should say, goes over that one and goes under the other tire.
That is a really scary sight, and that can cause some really serious injury.
And he had nowhere to go. Up high, hits the 41. Going with Edwin Mendez. His car is still going. Let's just make sure he doesn't miss. Let's just make sure he misses this one. Oh, just almost hit that 26 and do that. Where the real bumper, my right. Man, sucks for Eli. He sees 2 of his Penske teammates involved. Here's John Jackus. Ah, thought he had a lane open. Did not. And just look at that 8-car just barrel roll in turn 3. Almost hits Brian Webb. Another 4-wide situation Brad Stowe was caught up in. Here's what he saw. That car's on fire, by the way. He will be done for the day. Finally, Glenn Duthitt. So this wreck started when he was in turn 2. In the middle of 1 and 2, they say. The wreck lasts for the entire length of the backstretch, as well as turn 3. Whammo! Loses the left front wheel. Many cars taken out. Let's look at the list of all the drivers now before we go back to green flag racing. Gondillo, Morgan, Douthat, Donovan Douthat, Glenn Douthat, Brian Webb, Kelly, Stover, and Hankins. They're all done for the day. Hankins was not involved in the wreck. Schwartz is one lap down on the inside line. We're ready for the restart. 20 drives on the lap. Michael Gregory leads. Tyler Scott second. Tristan Allen third. Tammy Durek fourth. Eli Bright fifth. 13 to go when we get back to green. Here we go. Schwartz lets a lot of the drivers go. A very slow car on the track. Don't expect a lot of pack racing now with all those drivers in that previous wreck. If we count this, if I am correct, we only had probably 14 drivers miss the wreck, if I were to guess. And now Tyler Scott trying to look to the inside, go for the race lead. They're side by side. Here's a battle for third as well between Tammy Durek and Tristan Allen. Durek trying to go for two in a row. You got two Hondas and two Chevys battling. There's an Andretti car up there. We'll mention that as well. Allen trying to get the third win for Andretti Autosport this season. Durek takes a look to the inside on Tyler Scott. Goes for the race lead. It is now turned into an 8-car battle for the win. Here comes Tristan Allen. Goes into the second spot. 3 wide for the third position. Here comes Josh Goot in the 11. Goot to third. Hayden Caldwell in the 20 goes for fourth. He's got that one. How about that? Caldwell and Gregory, they're cousins. They're up there in the battle for the win. Josh Goot to second. He could be a potential spoiler. So could Allen. It's Caldwell in the battle for the title as well. He's not anymore. Many drivers up here could be a potential chase spoiler. Here goes Goot to the bottom for the lead. Who will Caldwell go with? Caldwell will not go with his teammate. He knows there's not a lot of time left to go for a win. He knows he has no teammates anymore. Brandy Webb, who's battling for the title, she has a chance at going for a win. She's going to go for the race lead. Looks to the bottom, almost going for a win in this one. Side by side, Caldwell just led that lap at the line. Webb to the lead. Here comes Tyler Scott in the 42, goes for second. He's got that one. They go 3 wide for third. Scott for the lead. Tyler Scott will go to the point there. Michael Gregory trying to look to the inside. Gregory going for the lead. He's got that one. Eli Bright in the 12 going for second. Bright has that one. Now challenges for the lead. Let's go on board with the 27. Oh, 19. He blocks the 12. Now he's got to use that to his edge. Caldwell now makes it 3 wide. Will this help out Michael Gregory? Wants to try to bring his cousin, try and get them a 1-2 finish. We go down the backstretch. Gregory still has the lead. Caldwell second. Josh Goot in the 11 is running third. Now this is where draft's going to be key. Caldwell just showed what that draft is like. He's going to take a look to the inside for the lead. 5 laps to go. Now, if we get a caution flag, this race will go to overtime. Tammy Durek in the 6 goes to second. Tyler Scott for third. Durek now looks in the bottom. Durek goes to the lead. Scott second. Webb is third. 4 laps to go. Tyler Scott trying to look to the bottom. And there's lap traffic. That's the time of Edwin Mendez. He will change everything. Will he help her his teammate? He hurts his teammate. Durek to the race lead. Could she go back to back now? With this draft, could Tammy Durek be too far ahead? That will be very interesting. Scott will need to have a big moment to try and draft with Durek. But Mendez, this is the first lap he's been shown that blue flag. He's got 2 more laps to let all these drivers go, or else he will be black flag. So that just changed everything. Meanwhile, 3 wide for the 5th spot. Next slow car will be the 21 of Jim Shorts. He's coming off turn 4. Derek's coming off turn 4 as well. They'll have 2 to go as they get to the line. Derek gets slowed down by his teammate. Here comes Scott for the race lead. Scott to the point. And now Conroe gets slowed down by this one. Man, Jim Shorts is going to get in a whole lot of trouble by Ed Carpenter. And it gets to the 35. They're both. Oh, here we go. Tristan Allen's around. That will send us into overtime. Gregory's in it. Oh, big crash. This is version 2 of the big one.
That is incredible.
Jim Shorts in heavy trouble as the race leader will be Tyler Scott. So we were 2 laps away, or 2 laps away from ending the race, and now we are going to overtime. Many more drivers taken out of this one. Let's watch what happened. So Jim Shorts slows down his teammate. Then he's going to slow down his other teammate. And then he's going to slow down to 35. Webb gets into Shorts. And it's just on from there. They're both in the water. Looks like these drivers are missing it. But then Webb comes down in front of Allen and starts this whole thing. He spins out. Salzman gets in it. Gregory's in it. Wow, Jake Rogers just missed that one. And then watch this from spectator mode. Look at all these drivers trying to miss it down low. Marty Johnson and a Tristan Allen. 2 other drivers involved. Look at the 18 goal airborne. Sean McKean, Anthony Lopez in that. And now all these drivers know the carnage is now happening down low.
I'll tell you who didn't want to see that. Tyler Scott, after that huge move, using the lapped car as a pick, he looked like he had that race won, and then
it happened.
When they got there in the backstretch, that's when it all unfolded for him.
Yep. Here's the 12s on board, Eli Bright. Holy cow, he got close to getting involved in that. Here's Tristan Allen. Into the 35. Ooh, that is a lick he took from Marty. Alright, Brandy Webb. Oh, he took a look for the 25. I don't know how no one went upside down. So now the lights will go off the pace car. 1 lap to go. We do use the overtime line here at Texas. And now only 17 drivers are on the lead lap. 2 of them will line up inside. That's Jim Shorts and Edwin Mendez. Drivers out now. Lopez, Johnson, Baker, Allen, Brandy Webb, Sean McKean. They are now in the garage. Done for the day. So the overtime line's in turn 3. Once those drivers cross the overtime line, this race can be complete if we do get a caution flag. Tyler Scott, who did not want to see that caution, was going to win this race, but he's got to do it. He's got to do 2 more laps to make sure he wins it. So he's
not in a great position either, because obviously he's in the lead. He's only have to make it around 2 laps, but these slow cars are going to drop back immediately, and then you've got the 6 car who's just going to probably make a move right away. Tammy Durek is going to look for every single way to get around Scott and could be the winner of this race.
She's in second. She's got, that's overtime run by the way, she's got her teammate Hayden Caldwell in 3rd as well. Johnny Garner, he's 4th. Michael Gregory's running 5th. Eli Bright 6th, Josh Goot 7th, Dale Salzman 8th, Jake Rogers 9th, Josh Hyatt is 10th. Here we go for overtime. I'm not going to be yelling that much. Mom told me to cool it. I understand. Rooms are next to each other. So yeah, I got to calm it down. You guys can understand. Here's overtime. Slow cars will let the drivers go by.
Drop back immediately. Now Durick has the preferred line.
Here, let's see what the Ed Carpenter teammates do. There goes Durick. She looks to the bottom. Caldwell goes with. Now Caldwell in the chase, but does Durick want to get that second win in a row, help her in the chase, or will Caldwell spoil it? White flag, they've crossed the overtime line.
Scott has just dropped back at nothing. He's not going to win this race now.
Caldwell's got the race lead. Here's John the 4. He can try it right here. Right in the 19 will try and be a spoiler. Here they come into turn number 3.
He's got to make a move now, and it looks like he's got the inside line.
Oh, will Gregory do it? Is he going to do it? He's going to do it. Mom, get the camera photo finish coming up. Who's it going to be in the line? Johnny Garner wins it at Texas.
3/100ths of a second.
A great photo finish. Johnny Garner just edges out Michael Gregory to take the win. How about that? So Garner
drops all the way back to 6th.
Garner will advance into the Elite 8. He eliminates Marty Johnson from winning the title. Alright, Colin, take us through this restart. Game with 2 to go.
Well, like I said before we hit it, Scott was in a very bad position by being in front. He didn't have the car that was going to be able to stay out there. Durick had the line as soon as they took the green flag. She knew she was going to be able to cut inside of him at the first opportunity. So it takes place right here on the backstretch. And now Gardner is just hanging back. He knows that he's got the whole 2 laps to try to make the move. So he hangs in there, gets around Scott coming out of turn 4. He's going to hang around the teammates there, staying side by side, and that is just what Gardner's waiting for. He's got Durick dropping back, and then he makes the move to the inside. And then at this point, all he's got to do is keep his blocking mode on point, because on the bottom line, that is where the move's going to be made, and it got made, but Gardner just had the car that barely edged him out.
So let's look at your top 10 after that one. It's Gardner, Gregory, Bright, Caldwell, Goot, Scott, Durick, Rogers, Hyatt, and Stremme. That's your top 10. Excuse me. So we will be right back, and we will give you your chase bracket after race 1 in the round of 16. Stay with us. And we are back. Here's the bracket. Johnny Garner with his win eliminates Marty Johnson from the chase. How about that? A 31 upside in a 16. The slipper still fits for Johnny Garner right now at the moment. So, Edwin Mendez beats Brad Stover. Tammy Durick beats Glenn Duthit. Jake Rogers beats Grayson Acevedo. Hayden Caldwell beats Ryan Gondillo. Cody Smart beats Cody Prince. Andrew Brown beats Brandy Webb. And Eli Bright beats Brian Webb. Alright, so that's that. So load up our open wheel series info here. The next race for these drivers, that is going to be Kansas. That's the Spectrum 300. That should be a good one for you. So, anyway, Colin, final thoughts on this one.
A lot of excitement there. A little bit more wrecking. Well, we should say a lot more wrecking in a big fashion than we saw at Atlanta. It definitely came down to were you lucky enough to be in the front of the pack when the accidents happened, and that's what gave some of these drivers their advantages today. And of course, Johnny Gardner gets the advantage into the round of 8. So we'll see how they do at Kansas. We'll see what kind of racing they'll do there. It's a bit of a new configuration for these drivers, but we'll see if they can handle it.
Absolutely. So that is going to do it here for us. For Colin Denton, this is Beastboy02 saying so long. I'll see you guys at the next race. YOLO swag. Bye, guys. We're out of here. Colin, play us out.
I don't know. I'm not wearing a shirt.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm in my room. I don't care.
Nice.